What is up, you guys? It's your favorite cutie, Mel, back again on my Soap Pod channel to give you guys yet another video. And today we are continuing our conversation around All About Love by Bell Hooks. Okay, so we're nearing the end here. We're on chapter 10, which is titled Romance, Sweet Love. And this is like the longest chapter that I've read so far. And I feel like it's very strategic that she placed this the romance near the end of the book, which just goes to show, because I feel like the reason why most people and even me picked up this book was because I wanted to learn all about like romantic love. And sure, this book is about that, but I like how she reserved what everybody's waiting for pretty much to the end. Also, if you're new here on this channel, please become a reoccurring cutie by going ahead and becoming a subscriber. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this kind of content, because I'm going to continue to read books on this channel and share like my thoughts and do the chapter reviews with you guys, and then the book overview as a whole and like what I thought about it and rate it. Also I'm going to be talking about my locks on my channel. Just started my starter locks almost a month ago. So if you feel like any of that is appealing to you, if you like Amazon reviews, definitely subscribe. Okay, let's get into it. So let's start off. So chapter 10, Romance, Sweet Love. Sweet love, say where, how, and when. What do you want of me? Yours I am. For you I was born. What do you want of me? Saint Teresa of Avila. Okay. So if you haven't been here before, basically I share excerpts that I found powerful. Sometimes I elaborate on them. Sometimes I just skip to the next passage and then come back to it. Okay? True love does have the power to redeem, but only if we are ready for redemption. Love saves us only if we want to be saved. So many seekers after love are taught in childhood to feel unworthy, that nobody could love them as they really are, and they construct a false self. Sorry, that's so noisy today. Okay, so let me keep reading. But this love, okay, in adult life, they meet people who fall in love with their false self, but this love does not last. At some point, glimpses of the real self emerge and disappointment comes. Rejected by their chosen love, the message received in childhood is confirmed. Nobody could love them as they really are. I feel like if you feel that you need to be anything other than who you really are, it's already doomed to begin with, because you know you can only keep a charade for so long, like she said. And I feel like it's absolutely true that, you know, the things that we carry with us, like our insecurities, whether it be from childhood or adulthood, I feel like our brain's job and how manifestation works is we always end up proving ourselves right. So if we feel like because I don't believe that anyone could love me or care about me genuinely, I have to be this other person in order to be loved, you're doing that as a result of feeling unworthy. And like she said, you will prove yourself right, because once you can't hold up the charade anymore and you have to be yourself starts to peek out, the person is gonna somewhat feel deceived, because it's just like, who is this new person? And you know, they might love you for who you really are, but if they don't, then I mean, you can't be playing you can't be an actress in love. Like, you have to be your true self. The good, bad, and everything in between. It's about being authentic. We believe we will meet the girl of our dreams. We believe someday our prince will come. They show up just as we imagined they would. We wanted the lover to appear, but most of us were not really clear about what we wanted to do with them. So she's just talking about how as kids we all imagine the perfect fairy tale love and how it's going to come into our life, but we don't really put a lot of intention behind those thoughts. It's more just like, oh, love is going to come to me, but you know, we don't think about how we need to be loved, what we actually need out of a relationship, what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel safe. Like these are things that we should think about when we are idealizing love and like the kind of love that we want. Reading this book actually makes me feel like I need to revise the list that I already have and be more intentional about like how the person shows up, and then also who I'm showing up as in love. Like, you know, what am I willing to give? What am I capable of giving? Like, all of those things are important when you think about attracting love and what kind of partner you want. Okay. So now she starts to talk about the term of falling in love. All right. No doubt it was someone playing the role of leader who conjured up in the notion that we all fall in love, that we lack choice and decision when choosing a partner, because when the chemistry is present, when the click is there, it just happens. It overwhelms and it takes control. This way of thinking about love seems to be especially useful for men who are socialized via patriarchal notions of masculinity to be out of touch with what they feel. In the essay, Love and Need, Thomas Merton contends, the expression to fall in love reflects a peculiar attitude toward love and life itself, a mixture of fear, awe, fascination, and confusion. It implies suspicion, doubt, hesitation, in the presence of something unavoidable, yet not fully reliable. If you do not know what you feel, then it is difficult to choose love. It is better to fall. Then you do not have to be responsible for your actions. So basically, she goes back and forth with this idea of the difference between falling in love and choosing love. And I actually really like this because I think that it is a choice. Because just like people can choose to let themselves be overtaken, people can also choose to withdraw from connection. So I think it's just as important to be more aware of, like, yes, you might click with someone. Yes, you might have that instant attraction with someone. It might feel magical. All of those things are great. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that person is going to be a great lover. I think sometimes we need to be able to see through that and be able to recognize that, yes, we have this like innate chemistry, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's love. And you have to really take time to get to know people so that when you do let yourself get into these vulnerable states, because once you start saying that you love someone and once you really get into it, like, you get in deep, and then if you're not careful and if you're not choosing love, choosing the partners that you're like being with, and you're just going off of this whimsical feeling of, oh, I like him so much and it's so great and we just laugh all the time. All of those things are great, but it takes more than a feeling in general to sustain a relationship, which is why even with all of those things present, even with all the chemistry in the world, we have to take time to make sure that we are still choosing the partner and not going off of this idea that once you just fall in love, that you just don't have any choice about whether you should commit to this person, whether this person is actually good for you, whether they're worth your time, whether they're able to meet you where you're trying to go, if you guys want the same things. Like, it's very important to be able to kind of make it practical in that way. Like, you're still choosing a partner, and when you do that, it's something that needs to be handled with care. And it takes time, it takes observation, it takes, seeing this person in different environments. Because ultimately, if you do want love to last, you have to think about family. How is the family? Do they like you? Do you like them? Like, before you get in so deep and start saying that you love someone, you should get to know the person well enough to choose the partner and be like, okay, I'm going to choose to engage with you in this way. Not just like, oh, I feel so good right now, let me just give you everything, is what I got out of it. We continue to believe we are swept away, caught up in the rapture, that we lack choice and will. In The Art of Loving, Fromm repeatedly talks about love as action, essentially an act of will. He writes, to love somebody is not just a strong feeling. It is a decision, it is a judgment, it is a promise. So that's pretty much what I just shared with you guys. And this is a long chapter, so I know I'm probably not going to be able to read every single thing that I felt was compelling, but I will try to pick the best things. Let's see. So yeah, I'm just going to say this because I feel like it just makes it even more clear. Few of us evaluate a prospective partner with the same objectivity and clarity that we use to select a household appliance or a car. I listed 10 items. Then then she just talks about her process and how she basically started making a list for the things that she needed. Okay, let's keep going. So now we're going to talk about erotic attraction. Sometimes I think that, and I know I've done this in the past, that if you have just an amazing chemistry with someone, also an amazing sexual chemistry with someone, that it is just, that's it. That's the one, you know? But ultimately, we can have great sexual encounters with people who are not necessarily great partners and not someone who's worthy of being chosen for your love. So, erotic attraction often serves as the catalyst for an intimate connection between two people, but it is not a sign of love. Exciting, pleasurable sex can take place between two people who do not even know each other. Yet, the vast majority of males in our society are convinced that their erotic longing indicates who they should and can love. Led by their penises and seduced by erotic desire, they often end up in relationships with partners whom they share no common interests or values. The pressure on men in a patriarchal society to perform is so great that men are often so gratified to be with someone whom they find pleasure that they ignore everything else. They cover up these mistakes by working too much or finding playmates that they like outside of their committed marriage or partnership. It usually takes them a long time to name the lovelessness that they may feel. And this recognition usually has to be covered up to protect the sexist instances that men never admit failure. So I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I think that a lot of guys get into intimate relationships, and I feel like women too. I feel like people in general can sometimes get into intimate relationships too quick because of having a good time. And then later on, as things become not so fresh and the whole, initial excitement starts to wear off, you start to notice, okay, do me and this person have the same values? Do me and this person have much in common besides the fact that, we both enjoy each other in that way? And sometimes you don't. So it's just important to slow down. Let's see. Like males, we often settle for lovelessness because we are attracted to other aspects of the partner's makeup. So I found this to be true for me. I know that there have been certain relationships, whether it was because the great time was wonderful or like there's just other things that I admired about someone. I may have stayed in certain situations longer than I should have, even though it wasn't real love. Just letting that go past. So now she talks about how says couples who rarely or never have sex can know lifelong love. Sexual pleasures enhances the bonds of love, but they can exist and satisfy when sexual desire is absent. So I just don't want to get demonetized, so I'm trying not to say certain words too many times. But I know you guys get it. If men were socialized to desire love as much as they are taught to desire having a good time, we will see a cultural revolution. As it stands, most men tend to be more concerned about the good time performance and the good time satisfaction than whether they are capable of giving and receiving love. I think it's true. We are all capable of changing our attitudes about falling in love. We can acknowledge the click when we feel it, and basically just choose to stop falling in love, and start choosing the people that you feel like are deserving of love, and then you can go ahead and act on love. How different things might be if, rather than saying I think I'm in love, we were saying I've connected with someone in a way that makes me think I'm on the way to knowing love. Or instead of saying I am in love, we said I am loving, or I will love. Our patterns around romantic love are unlikely to change if we do not change our language. Let's see, I'm gonna skip up a little bit because this is a super long chapter. We're already 15 minutes in. Let's see. So she just goes in again. I love how she continues to say in this book that real love is going to have challenges. Like, it's not a fantasy. It's going to have challenges, and often those challenges make the love stronger and better when you can get through them together in a healthy way. Okay, and then she also talks about it's okay to look for love. Like, you don't lose love by looking for it. And basically, even just by opening your heart, that is an act of seeking love. See, romantic fantasy often nurtures this belief that difficulties and downtimes are an indication of a lack of love rather than a part of the process. I love looking at love as a process, because I think that it is. It's a learning process. It's a communication. It's just so many processes to get to a good place sometimes with someone, because it's a whole nother human being who has a whole nother set of values and a whole nother set of life experiences. And I think that if we look at love more as a process, that our relationships will last longer, because I think that, like she said, most of the time we think that when you click with someone, everything's supposed to be great, and then, like, you know, you're barely supposed to argue and you're barely supposed to have disagreements, but that's just not realistic. Okay, gonna keep going. True love is a peculiar kind of insight through which we see the wholeness which the person is. At the same time, we totally are accepting of the level on which he now expresses himself, without any delusion that the potential is a present reality. I like that, because I think it just further just talks about how true love can only be experienced through being authentic about who you are in that moment, in that time. And it's not about being perfect. It's not about having everything together all the time. It's not about being the perfect lover, because the truth is, as people, none of us are perfect. So I think when you really love someone, you're able to see them and all that they are, and see beyond what they are into what you think that they could be if they're struggling with something, but ultimately still accepting them as this present self, and just doing your best to kind of just lovingly help this person to be better if that's what they want. Now, if they don't want to be better, then there's nothing that you can do to change. But, you know, if someone is willing to put in the time and the effort to be better, and you guys can do that to each other and be like mirrors for each other and accountability partners for each other, I think that's real love. Then she kind of goes on to talk about how, like, sometimes just because the love is real doesn't always mean that it's going to last. Doesn't mean that the person that you might love genuinely and truly is available for that relationship. Whether that means that you meet somebody that you connect with deeply, that maybe you have such a great friendship with, and you guys are exchanging true love, and maybe that person is married. Like, because true love doesn't have to exist with anything physical. Like, you know, you could have true love for a friend. You could have true love for someone who, if the opportunity was available, maybe you guys could take it there. But true love doesn't always mean, it's not always a fairy tale, and where it means that it's going to last forever. So I'm glad that she also is just being 100 about that, because sometimes it can last, but sometimes it won't. And it's still nice and beautiful to be able to experience being seen and seeing someone else for who they are and loving them, and hopefully contributing to their journey and ascension in some way. Okay, let's see. Letting go. Oh, love is letting go of fear. Not everyone can bear the weight of true love. Many men, especially, often turn away from true love and choose relationships in which they can be emotionally withholding when they feel like it, but still receive love from someone else, which is very selfish. But, you know, and I don't even think it's just a men thing. Like, I think this book was written a long time ago and she has made some revisions, but I think that it's just in general. Like, I think it's just like some people are not able to bear the weight of being seen genuinely when they don't love themselves, when they don't like what they see. You know, they rather have someone who's not going to dig as deep or hold them accountable or, you know, just be real. To love fully and deeply puts us at risk. When we love, we are changed utterly. Merton asserts, love affects more than our thinking and our behavior towards those we love. It transforms our entire life. We sacrifice our old selves in order to be changed by love, and we surrender to the love, to the power of the new self. So I think that's true. And part of that, like, it kind of makes me feel like I experienced true love through my last relationship, even though it was short and it didn't last. I feel like it was true love because through seeing this person, I was able to see myself better, and it was a catalyst for me to completely change a lot of things. I changed my diet, started my life journey. I stopped smoking, really, stopped drinking for real. So it's just like there's so many things that I feel like I saw him authentically, and he also saw me authentically. He saw things about me that weren't so great. I'm sure that if he was honest with himself, probably reflect a lot about him as well. Because I think that whenever you connect with someone, there's definitely a common thread there. And it doesn't mean that you have to be the exact same person or whatever. But usually there's something that's connecting you guys, and you guys have some type of similar vibration going on. And at the time, we definitely had a similar vibration in so many ways. And, you know, we experienced each other. I loved him in that state. But then ultimately, I changed. And that caused a division. Maybe I could have been more patient. I could have done a lot of things different, but I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I don't regret the split. I don't regret us being together because it helped me to evolve. Ultimately, it helped me to evolve into a person that I love even more, and it changed more than just like the relationship. It changed my life. It changed more than just a little bit. I changed so much about myself, and I don't want to say that is because of this person, but it's because I changed for my own reasons and because I wanted to. But it was through seeing myself in this other person that made me want to go ahead and be like, you know what? Let me make some changes. Let me go ahead and step it up. Let me make sure I'm working on my internal. Let me make sure I'm getting happy. Let me make sure that I feel good with me. Like, you know, I'm good with this person right here. So if you guys like this video and you guys want to finish up this book with us, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up, become a reoccurring cutie, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you guys want this book, I always have it linked down in the description, so you guys don't have to wait for me to do chapter reviews. You can buy it yourself, and we can just talk about it in the comments down below. Also, I sell these bracelets and keychains. They're Be My Lover merch. Check that link in the description as well. Support me if you would like to. Goes towards a lot. And I also started a Patreon. So if you guys want to support me monetarily, you guys can do that for $3 a month. It really does help me to free up more time to be able to do content. So I'll be able to come and do more content here. And also I'm going to be working on a short film that's actually somewhat inspired by this book. After reading this book, I want to incorporate this into my film and kind of continue on this journey of being my own lover and discovering love and sharing love and all those good things. So if you guys want to just see more content, see other things that I do artistically besides this channel, if you guys are interested in my music or just anything that I'm producing, definitely subscribe to my Patreon. I have multiple tiers going up to $15 right now, and I add a lot of things on there, and there's already quite a bit of things on there. So hopefully to see you guys on the other side. If not, I'll see you guys in the next video.